Hi there, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a brand new release from Colorado Craft Company and I created this Sending Love card, images colored with Copic markers. I haven't used Copics a ton lately and oh my gosh, it was so much fun to color these in. We're using a couple of new stamp sets today. Most of the images I'm using are from the new Life Last stamp set. And as always, my favorite thing about Colorado Craft Company dies is that they die cut right close to the image. And you're going to see what I'm talking about because I will tell you, I took this stamp set out and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love the bird. I love the flowers. I love the bird cage. And then I looked at the bird cage and you know how so many stamp sets just do the die line around the outer part of the cage and call it good. I knew I wanted to create a decorative background and I knew I was not going to love if it just had a border. But Colorado Craft Company has us covered because this die cuts out all of those little sections, you guys. I am in love. So I have stamped my images from Life Lasts, right? Oh my gosh. Too many new stamp sets lately and I'm losing my mind about what name is what. It is Life Lasts and I stamped these on Neenah 110-pound weight heavy cardstock with Hero Arts intensified black ink. This is my favorite ink for Copic coloring. It is definitely intensified black. It gives you a beautiful outline that you can see here. And I've listed my marker colors across the top of the screen. The green color combo I am using is G24, 28, and 29. And the first few little parts of the image I colored I feel like was getting myself reacquainted with my Copic markers. I know I've used them a few times here and there, but I really just wanted to color with them today. And so this was a really fun exercise. My pink flower color combination, wow, I cannot talk, is our 30, 32, and 35. Now, this is a favorite color combination of mine, but sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out exactly how to color, if that makes sense. R30 tends to have a lot of colorless blender in it, and so it will bleed if you oversaturate the paper, but I really love like that lightness that it gives to the image, and I like that peachy pink color. So I colored in a couple of those to make sure that I liked the color combination. I'm going to go ahead and go back in and do some leaves and good stuff like that. I felt like I needed a little bit more darker areas on my flower, so that's a little more R35 and R32. And then simply working my way around the bird cage. I'm a little surprised at myself for starting with this image over the bird image. I really felt like I'd start with the bird image first, but I was so anxious when I saw the die and I saw that it cuts out all those little sections. You'll see that I'm going to color this in completely and then I die cut it because I wanted to see how it die cut. And so happy. I love it. And just like the bird, so the bird cage is definitely going to be more dramatic in that respect where the die cuts it so close to the line, but the bird and floral image, it's going to cut close to this one too. There are all those little cutouts, you know, around leaves and flowers and things. It die cuts those. So Colorado Craft Company gets like, you know, 2 thumbs up from me because I think it's phenomenal that they do such an amazing job with their dies. I know a lot of you really don't care for the white outline from die cutting, and I think this makes it a little more palatable just because it die cuts so close if you're one that doesn't really care for that. Oh, I love these flowers. I love these leaves. Now let's figure out what to do for the bird cage. So I went for very neutral, like a little brown bird cage. We're going to use E43, 44, and 47 for this. It took me a minute to figure out exactly how I wanted to color that, but I ended up doing a lot of E47 as far as tracing the bird cage. That's like all of the really thin little bars of the cage and all, my darkest shading color and all of that. In fact, I would venture a guess that E43 is not that noticeable here since it's going to be my lightest color, but that's okay. We're just going to color all of this in, and then we're going to die cut it and see how it looks. Let's get that color down on the bottom. So I love the flowers. I love the flowers and I love the leaves. And I'm thinking, yes, the birdcage is okay. It's cute. But, you know, the real wow factor for me is die cutting. So I die cut. And then we'll color in our bird and the rest of our florals. Okay, we're going to save the reveal because I did that off camera and I loved it. So I set it over to the side. And we're going to color in our second image. This time I know that I like the green color combo. I want it to be very cohesive, so we are going to do G24, 28, and 29 again. I have left my coloring in the video. I know a lot of you like that. I am so sorry that my camera was not positioned exactly right. I am still working on getting my new video camera set up exactly how I want it to be, and sometimes it's not exactly there. And I zoomed in so you could see the coloring, and I zoomed in so much and then pulled it too close to me. So kind of forgive me for being out of frame a little bit here for some of these leaves. This image will have a couple of new color combinations as far as the little purple flowers. I made them purple. You can do whatever you want here. So that's going to be a different color than the peachy pink color combination we're using. And then of course there's the bird image, but those will both be colored in a minute. I tackled everything I've already colored in the other image. I already know I like those colors, so I went ahead and did all of that first, and then we'll get to our bird and then the rest of the floral images. Pretty simple, but look at the detail on these images. It's just gorgeous. So in the release, while I'm doing some coloring, I will talk about the new products. There are 4 new stamp sets and coordinating dies for them as well. So there is another Birdcage set that really coordinates beautifully with this. It is called Be Free. Then in the Big and Bold collection from Colorado Craft Company, there is a beautiful Hibiscus Hummingbird set. That is a set that I'm going to use my sentiment from. I really like the sentiment. It has a coordinating die for the sentiment, so I was drawn to it. And just like the Birdcage and the rest of the images, the die cuts really close to the letters, which you'll see when I die cut it, and I love that. But it has a beautiful large hibiscus image and a hummingbird. And then there is the peonies frame, which I'm going to be honest, I ran out of time. I really wanted to use the peonies frame. So I want you guys to drop me a note. Tell me what other new products from this release. I will have a link to all of the new products in my blog post, in a link underneath the video here on YouTube. Tell me what you want me to use in a future video, and I will do that. But this peonies frame gets my vote, but I will let you guys decide. But I really, really love this. I think it's gorgeous. So it's the frame, and then it's got 4 different sentiments in it and an individual peony little stem. It is beautiful. So that's a big and bold set. 2 big and bold sets, and then 2 of the, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's like the Whimsy. Yes, Whimsy World. So 2 Whimsy World sets and 2 big and bold sets. So you saw me color in my little bird. He is so cute. Got a little orange chest and beak. That was with an earth tone marker, but it has an orange undertone to it. Then I colored in the little purple flowers with a red violet marker, or 2 red violet markers, a little on the lighter side, and I felt they needed a little darkening, so we're going to pull the next color up, which is RV99, and just add a hint of that and then blend it back out. and I really, really love how this looks. All right, time to die cut this image now. And again, remember, the die is going to cut close to the image, which is so exciting. Oh, I forgot the centers of my flowers. That's a little YR23. I don't think you can see it that much, but it does fill in the rest of the color there. I am trimming apart my dies. Now, in this stamp set, there are 2 little individual flowers. I did not stamp those to begin with. I will stamp and color those off camera because I feel like they will be a cute little added embellishment to the bottom of my bird cage, which you will see here in a minute. All right, look at that die cutting. I'm just gonna pop out all those little pieces. This is what I'm talking about. And then, and if you flip it over, you can often see where all those little pieces are that need to be popped out. Now I have a background. This is a piece of Neenah smooth white cardstock that I stamped with the Simon Says Stamp stained glass background. And I am doing a little embossed resist with salvaged patina distress oxide ink. This is going to be the decorative background for my card. I love the stained glass background from Simon Says Stamp. It is beautiful. Because this is embossed resist, let's go ahead and buff any ink that might be sitting on top of the embossing off with a dry cloth. And look at the bird cage, you guys. How awesome is that? You can see through all of the little bars of the cage. I just think it's gorgeous. It makes these images so, so pretty. So I am crazy, I guess. I put foam adhesive on the back of this, and I did kind of have to piece it together to make it work around the bird cage. Just kind of creatively, because there's no adhesive that's really going to fit those teeny tiny bars. So it's along the bottom and back behind the leaves and all that good stuff. So I'm simply backing each of my pieces with foam adhesive, popping it up. I love the little bit of dimension, and we're naturally creating a great little spot for a frame on our card. That's going to be the perfect little place to add our sentiment from our next stamp set. So I am taking a sentiment from a completely different stamp set for my card. Let's go ahead and pop this panel on our card base. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's going to be this background panel for our card, leaving us a nice white border all the way around that ties into the white embossing, that ties into the white outline. I'm going to add a little black pen to the eye on my bird, and then a little white highlight with a white pen once the black has dried. Look how pretty! I love this. Then you can see my 2 little extra flowers there I stamped with intensified black ink. I'm stamping my greeting from the Hibiscus Hummingbird stamp set that reads, "Sending you some love today," with clear embossing ink, and I'm heat embossing with Simon Says Stamp antique gold embossing powder and heat setting this. Now again, this is something that I normally wouldn't love to do on a separate piece of paper simply because the die is not going to die cut close, but I took a peek, I looked at the dies, and it die cuts super close to the letters and around the word love. And to me, it just makes the card and makes the design. So let's grab the coordinating die. Let's die cut our sentiment, and that's going to be adhered directly to the background of our card. I'm not going to pop this up. I popped up my images because I felt like they would frame the sentiment perfectly this way. Look at this die. Is that not amazing? I'm going to run that over to my die cutting machine. Yay. And look at the die cutting on that. I think it's just so awesome. I'm going to put a little liquid glue back behind the solid areas and then make sure I get that nice and straight. I did fiddle with it just a little bit. I didn't want any of the letters to be back or behind the bird cage, and I needed to tuck a little bit of the L back behind the bird, so I had to lift up the foam adhesive real careful. But I love this. I think it looks really great. And then I do want to color and die cut those 2 little individual flowers. So I'm going to do that really quick off camera. And then let's tuck those right there at the base of our bird cage. So one directly on the card base and one on top of the bird cage. And that really balances it so nicely. It just kind of makes it this nice continuous loop. And then the final thing, and I know you guys are probably would have guessed this, but we need some heart accents, don't we? So these are some beautiful little coral heart droplets from Lucy's Little Things. I'm going to add those to my card, and it is all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this really beautiful card featuring brand new Whimsy, World, and Big and Bold stamps from the Colorado Craft Company August 2021 release. The supplies I used to create my card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring Colorado Craft Company that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.